Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of epicconversions.com. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Just wanted to make a quick video for you today. I got the newest issue of my weekly episode guide out for One Step Away. One Step Away is my podcast, and it's daily. I put it out daily, Monday through Friday. It's pretty cool. And you know what? Somewhere around here, I will put a link to the episode guide, so you can just easily download it and listen to it if you want to. But I was thinking a lot about influence today. I just wanted to speak to you guys on that. One Step Away is a funny thing because I just started this new podcast at the beginning of this year, and it's just got me thinking a lot about influence. And I wanted to share a little bit of influence with you guys. It feels like, our businesses or the things that we do, they're like a culmination of our influences. It feels like, it's the culmination of several influences, and it filters through us and it just comes out the other end, right? And that becomes our thing, right? And I just kind of wanted to kind of go back with you guys and share a few of my influences, and one influence in particular that I wanted to share with you guys that I think might help you guys a lot today. But to tell you about this influence, I need to take you back a few steps, okay? So let me just share my screen. So when we talk about something like One Step Away, it's funny because like One Step Away has already got like over 250 downloads, and I've only had it up for like a week. It's been crazy, but it's cool. I'm really thankful for that. But One Step Away is truly the culmination of influence, right? I didn't just create One Step Away from, the depths of my mind. I was influenced by lots of other people. And I want to share some of those influences with you now. And I want to kind of walk you through how I came to that, series of One Step Away. And the idea is that this might help you as well. But I really kind of want to shout somebody out today. And so let's do that. Let me move over to screen share and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so this all starts with Digital Marketer. So this was the first podcast that I discovered. I think I discovered this back in 2016 or 2017, and I was listening to this, and it was pretty good. I listened to it, but to be honest with you, it was a little bit fancy for me. Like, right, I didn't relate to a lot of this, even though it was helpful. And I do think a lot of you can benefit from listening to this podcast. It's pretty cool. I just didn't always relate to these people. They were a little bit fancy for me, and I kind of just did not relate to them. So it was good, but I moved on, right? Eventually, in 2019, I found myself fairly burned out, like I do often, and I stumbled upon this little gem, and I do think this is just a gem of a podcast, right? But this was Your Next Million with Frank Kern. Now, these are still there. I mean, I don't think he's still publishing these. He published like a series of them, and then he stopped, but they're still there, so anybody can go there and check them out. But this was a really cool podcast. I learned a lot from it, and I was taking notes while I was listening to this podcast because I was in the middle of just like being burned out, and I was kind of on a break, and I was trying to like just kind of recapture some interest in marketing because I was just really burned out, and this really helped me kind of heal up and kind of rediscover my passion for being in marketing to begin with. So this was a really great podcast. I highly recommend everybody check it out. But this Your Next Million podcast kind of led me to the path of this Ben Settle podcast. Ben Settle did 100 episodes. And this is funny because it's a direct influence because when I did the Guru in the Box thing, it was the epicconversions.com podcast. And if we look here, Today marks the 100th and last episode of the non-historic bensettle.com podcast. That's where the epicconversions.com podcast came from. That idea of just naming the podcast after your domain name, I got that from Ben Settle, right? So culmination of your influences, right? You know, it's wasn't my idea. I learned that idea from someone else. Another thing, he ended this on episode 100. Well, when I ended my podcast on episode 100, then I packaged it up and licensed it to everybody as a Guru in the Box package. Like I got that idea to end it on 100 from Ben Settle, right? So that again was, you know, my influences, you know, culmination of influences, right? That was, and you know, packaging up and licensing it, that was just my idea. But I mean, you know what I mean? It was like just kind of a shout out to Settle here on ending on the 100th episode. So it was pretty cool. So that was another great podcast. And then I started listening to this podcast called Every Day is Saturday, which is Sam Crowley's podcast. And he does daily podcasts, which I think is just amazing. Every single day he does these podcasts, and it's crazy to me. I mean, it's nuts. But that's where I first started thinking, yeah, man, I think I might be able to do, you know, just like 5 days a week and just take the weekends off. But this was in between the epicconversions.com podcast and before I started up this new one. I was really listening to his podcast a lot, and Sam Crowley, just awesome. Does podcasts on motivation and business and getting ahead. Great podcast, right? But this guy, Sam Crowley right here, and I took a workshop by him too, which was an amazing workshop too. But this guy right here kind of leads me into the part that I really wanted to talk about today, because Sam Crowley was on another podcast, and this podcast that I'll show you is who I really wanted to shout out today. So if we go over to Warrior Plus, many of you are familiar with this platform. Many of you are familiar with this platform right here. Something you might or might not know, but this platform has its own podcast, right? So if you log into Warrior Plus, right, and you log in here and you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, and you see this thing down here that says Profitcast, and you click right there, right, you're going to find the voice of Warrior Plus, right? And that is Jim Ducharme, right? Jim Ducharme has been doing this Profitcast podcast for years, right? And he's interviewed a lot of people, right? And even like the first couple episodes, there I am right there, number 3. There's Barb, there's Dave, there's Jeremy Kennedy, Ben Atkins, Ron Douglas, Matt Basak. Like all these marketers have been interviewed by Jim, right? Jim has interviewed all of us. He's interviewed Marlon Sanders and, you know, Neil Napier and Bill Hugel and Brendan Mace and Paula Pona and Stefan Cincio and Brian Rogers, and you know, the list goes on and on. He's interviewed all of us, you know, and look, there's Sam Crowley right there. Jim Ducharme interviewed Sam Crowley, and you know, it's interesting because there's Sam Crowley right there on Profitcast, interviewed by Jim Ducharme. And you know, I just took a workshop with Sam Crowley, and I've been listening to Every Day Saturday for the last couple of months. And you know, Jim interviewed him. You know, he interviewed him. I don't know if this tells us when he actually interviewed him, but it doesn't matter. The point is, Jim has talked to him. Jim is the voice of Warrior Plus. And, you know, Profitcast is an amazing podcast. And the work that, you know, Jim Ducharme has done on Profitcast is just, it's absolutely stellar, right? It's absolutely stellar. So I guess, you know, what I really wanted to say today was, you know, if you got a minute today, give Jim Ducharme a shout out for all the amazing work that he's done on Profitcast. And if you got another minute, you know, head over to Warrior Plus, scroll on down to the bottom, and click on that little button down there that says Profitcast, because what you're going to find is, some amazing work and just an amazing body of work that's been put together by Jim just to help entrepreneurs just like you get ahead. He's interviewed some of the greatest minds in marketing, excluding myself, of course, but some of the greatest minds in marketing, and just some people who are just really smart about making money on the internet. And, he's interviewed them right here, and it's completely free. Jim and Warrior Plus have put an amazing body of work here together. Um, so if you have a few minutes, shout out to Jim Ducharme on Facebook, and be sure to get over to Warrior Plus, scroll on down to the bottom and click on that Profitcast and get educated up. Listen to some of these amazing people talk about their businesses and, try to glean some information off of them, because, that's why Jim did this. I've talked to Jim many times over the years. And he is a really, really great guy. He is a really great guy. And this is a really, really great body of work that he's put together here. So I just wanted to tip my hat to Jim and tell him thank you for all the work that he's done for Warrior Plus and Profitcast and for all of us, really. We all love him, and I want to thank him for all that he's done for the community. So thanks, Jim, and everybody, make sure to get over to Profitcast and check this stuff out. Give Jim a shout out. All right. That's all I got. Thanks a lot, guys. That's all I got. See ya. Peace.